The T. Alexander Foundation is an educational social enterprise that believes in the transformative power of sports. Founded in 2016, the mission of the organization is to develop dynamic individuals through athletics. We accomplish this by preparing athletes for what's next. PA4WN. Drop the 4 and you have pawn. Like pawn pieces in the game of chess, today's athletes are moved around, utilized, and often disposed of when they can no longer be of service to an athletic program, coach, or community. Unfortunately, most athletes are only aware of the strategy in their sport versus the game that is going on around them in life. Eventually, the need for the athlete ends after 4 years, and the inevitable question of the unprepared athlete is, what do I do now? We believe a large part of the reason this occurs is because athletes are not educated properly in U.S. schools. Schools develop students for their futures, but do they do so adequately? Even if they do, are there ways to improve the student-athlete experience? To answer this question, we must explore the purpose of U.S. education. The purpose of U.S. education in the 21st century is twofold. Its purpose is to prepare students for a lifetime of careers and practical life experiences. First, let's focus on the aspect of careers. Throughout their elementary, middle, and high school years, students learn small facets of primary subjects such as math, science, history, and English. They gain a wholesome view on education and are given the chance to establish their interests as they gain valuable knowledge in general subjects. Students can then transfer their knowledge to any aspect of the world around them. For example, a student learning biology can practically use this subject in many ways. First, they can move on to study biology further and learn the complexities of the scientific world around them. They can take their knowledge of biology and redirect it to study their bodies, nature, and other basic life processes. They can study animals, humans, or the environment. On the other hand, students can also be bored. Through their study of biology, they can learn that they are not suited to study this subject. This is not a waste of time as they use this lesson to move on to establish other interests. This general education during their younger years helps students become well-rounded. Students are given this wholesome view on education to allow themselves to make decisions regarding their futures. In high schools, students are given opportunities to determine career interests through college planning and vocational training. Sometimes students also choose to enter the workforce and bypass forms of higher education. Okay, let's zoom out. Now we've established that education prepares students for their future and their own prospective career paths. The second aspect of U.S. education is that it also provides students with practical life experiences. Starting in elementary school, students learn things such as reading, writing, and math. While they learn the basic tenets of these subjects, students are also being taught how to interact with others. They learn how to share, play, and resolve conflicts. While they are there to establish a basic level of education, students are learning how to live, thrive, and survive in society. During their middle and high school years, students continue to learn the subject matters established in elementary school, but they gain exposure to other areas of interest as they learn to express themselves. They learn things such as home economics, shop, gym, and computer technology. Now that they've established how to function in society, students learn how to add their own flares of self-expression as they integrate themselves with the world around them. The best way to provide some guiding principles to substantiate this view is to imagine education as a house. First, let's compare elementary school to a living room. This is the place where basic interactions with others occur. Here, members of the house learn to talk and interact with one another. This is the place where sharing occurs and conflicts arise. Light reading often occurs in the living room, and the television serves as an informational piece for either learning educationally or learning about society. Now, let's move on to middle school. The best room to compare middle school to is a bedroom. Home to the awkward years, middle school is the place where adolescents learn about who they are and establish themselves in society. Similar to in a bedroom, the user often spends time examining their inner self. They establish their interests and personalities in a safe, secluded area where they can explore the complexities that make up who they are. Often the bedroom is decorated according to the interests and preferences of the habitant. The walls are a form of self-expression. Middle school is the figurative decorating of a room. Here the child moves away from the community and becomes established in their own realm. Transitioning from middle to high school, the hungry teenager moves from their bedroom to the kitchen. Here they come back together with others as a somewhat established individual. They don't have a fully established identity, but they enter social circles pertaining to their interests and the people they enjoy being around. Here in the kitchen, they continue to establish and digest who they are as they learn how to prepare for their futures as adults in the company of others. As students enter higher education, vocational training, the military, or an immediate career choice, they walk out of the figurative door of their homes and what's comfortable to them. They enter the world to continue to discover who they are and who they want to become. However, none of this can be accomplished without engagement strategies. Students must be led to these discoveries of who they are and who they are to become, and that is not without the help of educators. To positively impact students in determining their futures, educators must cultivate an environment where students feel free to express themselves and grow into who they want to be. Now imagine the garden surrounding the house. Each plant and flower started with a seed or bulb and grew into what it is today. For students to grow, educators must recognize and praise the figurative seeds they can cultivate in each student. This can only be done in an active learning environment. Students should not be only thinking and speaking out loud as they learn, but they should also be working collaboratively with their classmates. Just as the plants grow together, students must also do the same. In addition to cultivating an active learning environment, another teaching method that allows students to grow according to their own learning styles is through eliminating the idea of the right answer. If students are encouraged to provide the right explanation, then they are allowed to form their own approach and method to solving the problem. Students won't be afraid of being wrong, instead they will learn how to problem solve. While there is still the possibility that the student will have an incorrect answer, their method of thinking can be analyzed instead of giving the harsh answer of wrong. In contrast, imagine if the plants weren't cultivated and left on their own without any method of trimming or grooming. Much is the same for online learning or settings where students are left to learn on their own. When students are left to learn on their own, they cannot accurately process and grow in ways that they could if an educator were around. They cannot learn from others and are taught that the best way to learn is by themselves. In addition, there is always a right or wrong answer. Students are taught that the right answer advances them, so that is what they learn to search for. Instead, they should be seeking the right process of learning, but they are trained to find the right answer that is expected of them. Just like the plants, not only are the students not groomed and guided into the ways they were intended to grow, but they cannot work with each other and their surrounding environments. Our call to action is this: student engagement and development should start at the educational level. Educators in and outside the classroom should be guiding students to their futures while emphasizing and refining the students' unique qualities. Students should be encouraged to work together as they learn to search for answers to problems set before them. Not only will this prepare students for a future of working with others, but it will help them analyze and define their own personal identities. This will require more work, though. Educators will have to put forth a great amount of effort, and students will be pushed out of their comfort zones. Educators won't be able to sit back, and students will have to engage when it's difficult, but their growth will be exponential. With the help of educators and their peers, students will be guided to who they are and who they are to become. We as a foundation believe in employing these educational strategies to prepare athletes for what's next through our model of educate, explore, empower. We encourage our athletes to discover the right explanation for them through educating them on a topic, providing an opportunity for exploration, and giving them an opportunity to empower themselves through the transformative power of knowledge. If it weren't for the educators that took the time to recognize the strengths and weaknesses within us, we wouldn't be where we are as an organization today. As a collective, we are forever grateful to those who took the time to push us towards our unique projects of passion, which allowed us to develop essential qualities within ourselves. It was hard at times and laziness was warranted, but through working with others and learning from superiors, we were able to establish an identity through education. Not only were we able to establish an identity through education, but we have been able to use that education to better the world around our individual selves, the local community, and the world.